Hey guys! Today I'm here to talk to you about dysautonomia and POTS. Well, I'm going to try to talk to you about them. Just a little disclaimer, I'm not feeling very well today at all. It is a very wet and rainy, stormy, dreary day here where I am, and when the weather gets like that, I just crash. So I'm just going to try and get through this. I had much higher hopes for this video, more information to give you. But because I am not feeling so well, I just took with the few resources that I had on hand, did a little bit of highlighting, and I'm just going to relay that information to you. So I hope that's enough. And next week is a Q&A week, so if you just want more questions about this, or if you want to know more, just let me know, and hopefully I'll be feeling a bit better and I can give you more information then. So like I said, I just have some information that I have on hand from a paper that I wrote, and once again from Dr. Tinkle's book. Personally, I do know that I have some form of dysautonomia, POTS, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really quite sure which one to say, because I've never been officially diagnosed with anything, but I do know that I exhibit the symptoms. And I do know that I have adrenal fatigue, and my naturopath has just put me on, I think it was last week, a homeopathic, I should say, like adrenal booster. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't noticed anything yet, but then again, it's only just been a little over a week. And as my adrenals are off, my hormone levels are off, and it's all related. No, I don't really know if I do know some of the reasons why those are off, but that's not something I'm going to talk about right now. But I do know that I deal with that. Alright, so I just have this bit of information in front of me, and I'm just going to jump right in because I don't feel well. My stomach is growling really loud. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on camera. It's getting close to lunchtime. I don't normally film at this time during the day, but I figured film while I'm feeling okay-ish. Then if I just have to crash this afternoon, I can just crash. So some of this information might be repeating itself, so I'm sorry for that. And like I said, if this wasn't good enough for you, I apologize. If you want to know more, just let me know, and I can do that all in a Q&A video next week. So to start, just like I said, we're just going to jump right in here. The term dysautonomia, or autonomic dysfunction, is used to describe the many conditions caused by malfunction in the nervous system. The autonomic nervous system plays a large role. It controls bodily functions such as heart rate, blood pressure, temperature control, and digestion. Oh, quick side note, interjecting on myself here. If you are attending the EDNF conference this summer, the schedule is posted, the preliminary schedule, and one of the talks is on POTS, so I'm definitely going to be attending that one. Okay, moving back on. One classic sign of dysautonomia is a fall in blood pressure when a person stands up, and this is called orthostatic intolerance. This is probably the category that I think I might fall under. And dysautonomia is an umbrella term, meaning that there are other medical conditions that fall under the category of dysautonomia, one of them being POTS. POTS is described as persistent symptoms of orthostatic intolerance. I know it used to be called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, but I think they eliminated the O, so it's just postural tachycardia syndrome. I think that's what it is right now. You can, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong. Symptoms of POTS include lightheadedness, nausea, palpitations, weakness, and fatigue while in an upright position. Lying down can relieve some of these symptoms, like the lightheadedness and fainting. Aside from these symptoms, others include coldness or pain in the extremities, chest pain and shortness of breath, and syncope, also known as fainting, can occur with POTS. I know for me that the longer I stand, the more inebriated I tend to look, with wobbling around and getting dizzy. My mother has gotten really good at catching me when I start to wobble when I'm standing up straight. And lastly, on my information here, in order to treat POTS, you treat the symptoms, which are low blood volume and circulatory problems. Some common ways of treating this are increasing your fluid intake to 2 to 3 liters per day and increasing your salt intake. And that is what I'm trying to do today, just pound back lots of fluids and adding salt to everything. I'm just going to quickly move on to the dizziness, lightheadedness, and POTS section of Dr. Tinkle's book. I have a lot of stuff, okay, not too much stuff highlighted here, so I'm just going to dive right in and have a little bit of POTS story time with you. And just as again, this book is only for those with hypermobility type, EDS. So those with hypermobility type often have low blood pressure, in addition to an inappropriate blood pressure response or orthostatic intolerance. This low blood pressure and the delayed response to changes in position, such as from sitting to standing, may cause one to feel lightheaded, which often clears within a few seconds. However, some will actually faint or pass out. Caution should be taken when you're sick with changes in temperature, such as going from a hot shower to a cold bathroom, and from changing positions, such as from lying to standing, as this can make it worse. I know for me, some mornings when I first get out of bed, I feel my heart rate shoot up. Sometimes after I get out of the shower, I have to sit for a while. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, sometimes when I stand up, my body will let me get up and walk a few feet, and then the blindness will hit me, so that's always a nice false positive there. Now, let's see. Orthostatic hypotension, also known as postural hypotension, refers to a lower than expected blood pressure upon changing position, such as from lying to standing. Symptoms often include lightheadedness, dizziness, and/or fainting. POTS is defined as a heart rate increase greater than 30 beats per minute from supine, lying on one's back, to standing, or to a heart rate greater than 120 BPM within 10 minutes of assuming an upright position. Symptoms of POTS include weakness, dizziness, lightheadedness, blurred vision, difficulty thinking or brain fog, loss of consciousness, fainting. Many will report rapid heart rate, tachycardia, anxiety, and feelings of nervousness. Some will report gastrointestinal complaints such as nausea, cramps, bloating, and constipation. For me, I've never really seen my heart rate get high like they say here. I tend to have a very low heart rate in the 50s, which I'm not really quite sure why. It could just be I'm one of those people who has a naturally low heart rate. And okay, moving on. Although the exact cause of POTS and hypermobility type EDS is not known, many factors in EDS may contribute, including venous dilation such as varicose veins, low blood pressure at rest, and autonomic dysfunction. In particular, the abnormal connective tissue may cause POTS because of the excessive degree of elasticity in the blood vessels, especially the veins. The vessels are not capable of maintaining the appropriate amount of vasoconstriction or pressure. So that's about it. And then just some notes here at the end, ways to treat things. Avoid aggravating factors such as dehydration, extreme heat, and alcohol. And as I said before, increase your fluids to at least 2 liters per day, and salt intake between 2 to 4 grams per day. I don't measure salt. I just kind of pour salt on my food. I love salt, so it's not a big deal for me. And another thing here is sleeping with the head of the bed elevated. I already sleep on an elevated pillow. It's like a wedge-shaped pillow for my GERD, which may or may not help. I don't really know, but I'm so used to it at this point. There are medications you can take. There's some things here like vasoconstrictors to help, or medications that might help you retain salt and water. As I said, I'm not on any medications. I'm just on some adrenal support, a homeopathic remedy from my naturopath. I do know that other ways to test for dysautonomia and POTS or not is a tilt table test. That's something that I have not had done. I don't know if any of the other members have had it done, but it just sounds really scary to me. The fact that you are strapped to this table and you could potentially pass out and there's nothing you can do about it until the test is over, it just freaks me out. I don't think I'd be able to handle it very well. So that's what I have for you today. I hope it was sufficient. I know it might seem like I'm slacking a bit. I'm not. I promise you. I just really do not feel well today. But I didn't want to not do anything this week, so I pushed through.